Giving back. Thank you for that. For her dedication, commitment, loyalty, and service to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and beyond, Genna Rae McNeil receives the William Richardson Davie Award.
Thank you, Trustee Jones. Good evening, trustees, Chancellor Gusowitz, the Carolina community, guests here gathered. I stand before you on the shoulders of my ancestors of African descent, particularly my educator parents, Drs. Jessie J. and Pearlie Walker McNeil. To all of my ancestors, as well as preeminently to my creator, I pay homage. With greatest appreciation, members of the Board of Trustees, I thank you for bestowing upon me the Davie Award, which I accept with humility. To each of my fellow honorees, I offer sincere congratulations. I am grateful for the opportunity to share this experience with representatives of my family and friends who have come from across the nation to be with me this evening. I cannot thank you enough. Would you please stand? This evening imaginatively to time travel with me to hear William Richardson Davie in the 18th century, when chartering this first public university, sagaciously stated it to be, and I quote, an indispensable duty to fit the rising generation for the honorable discharge of the social duties of life. Next, hear him charge the trustees to do, and I quote again, all things necessary for the promotion of learning and virtue. Now taking a quantum leap to 2023 with me, may we joyfully all observe that today, beyond what possibly could have been imagined in the 18th century, this selection of Davie honorees can rightly be construed as symbolically promoting virtue and learning. Nevertheless, because I taught constitutional as well as U.S. and African American history here, and my training is in both history and philosophy, I humbly ask that you count it not robbery of your time that I share an urgent concern. It is that not enough of us in this multiracial nation are engaged in that of which Davie spoke, empowering rising generations to discharge honorably, which I interpret as ethically, their social duties in our society. Yet, as Martin Luther King Jr. has eloquently enunciated, we are caught in an inescapable web of mutuality. I stand before you not so much as an individual as essentially the beneficiary of my people's ongoing struggle, committed to objectives of complete freedom, complete justice, complete equality, and complete immediate recognition of respect as human beings, as Malcolm X adroitly articulated. I am as well the embodiment of the dissents of Justices Jackson, Kagan, and Sotomayor within the context of the recent wrongly decided affirmative action decision of the U.S. Supreme Court. Whereas I am proud of what God has enabled me to achieve and I was qualified to be admitted to any university, please know that for me and countless other African Americans, it was the Black liberation struggle and actions of progressives of all races supporting affirmative action that established a short-lived paradigm shift from anti-Black review practices in admissions and or mere tokenism to more inclusive opportunities in higher education. Without these, I would neither be a University of Chicago PhD nor a professor of more than 30 years at this institution. This nation has never structurally and constitutionally either provided a just remedy for the racist oppression of people of African descent, formerly enslaved, and their descendants, or eliminated irrevocably by law perpetuation of the advantages attendant to beliefs in white superiority and black inferiority under which we still live. Nonetheless, we are told by the Supreme Court that we must now pretend systemic racism and implicit bias are no longer pervasive, and that African Americans have achieved sufficiently equal standing to warrant the courts mandating in college admissions a race-neutral application of the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. I confess that this takes me off the familiar path of award ceremony etiquette. But I cannot take my seat without, as an historian, sharing this fact. People of goodwill who seek equal protection of the laws for all have been misled by the Supreme Court's ahistorical reading of the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause and the amendment's original intent. Consequently, with the court's decision, the American people are being told that the U.S. Constitution mandates perpetuation of a systemic racist status quo and African American subordination. We are all at different places in our life journeys, but we live in one nation, as Dr. King reminds us, tied in a single garment of destiny. Although my time, I know, has expired, I sincerely hope that you will extend grace that you might hear what I humbly offer before I leave the podium. There is an urgent need for civil discourse and conversations that are grounded in not only a truthful, full accounting of this nation's history, but also studies of ethics and social philosophy, particularly the writings of John Rawls, William Frankena, and UNC's own Bernard Boxall. These philosophers, in part, would have each of us understand this one thing. Although the basic principle of justice is equality of treatment, two ethical principles, justice as fairness and beneficence, justify different and unequal treatment of those oppressed and those who are objects of discrimination, on the grounds that it will promote greater equality and a better society focused on the common good in the long run. Finally, please know I am enormously grateful to the trustees for this award and also grateful for your patience. I am accepting this high honor with hope and in faith, believing the creator of humankind looks to discover whether or not we can make justice and beneficence real in time and space by our intention, will, and actions. May God bless you and your families and your friends. Thank you.